Good morning to all traders and welcome to this today's market insights video. A very good Monday yesterday. We saw actually prices, risk appetite increasing, right? So prices in the euro dollar, the pound dollar, Aussie, Kiwi were initially boosted. Dollar reached 119, pound 134. New Zealand, Kiwi, multi-year highs. However, we saw a reversal and flows, risk flows actually were shifted to the dollar as the market PMIs for service and manufacturing delivered a very good boost for the US economy, suggesting that the US economy is indeed improving despite that COVID cases are rising. Now, on the other side, we've had the AstraZeneca vaccination indicating that there is yet another company that has an over 90% efficacy on the trials vaccination, right? And apparently this is considered to be good because the distribution from AstraZeneca is going to be easier, apparently, plus the vaccination is going to be cheaper. Now, as with all that, of course, into mind, we also had Donald Trump saying his government that he is willing to cooperate now with Biden transition. So he's pretty much giving in, finally, but he hasn't really given up just yet. So things now are going to be smoother going forward for the transition. And this is, again, to be considered as a positive for the markets. Last but not least, we've had the report coming out saying that Yellen might come back. And Yellen, as you probably remember, is friendly to Wall Street. So she's going to probably be Biden's Treasury Secretary. But of course, this is going to be, we'll know in a few weeks who's going to be what as the president-elect is still choosing his cabinet. Now, I want to go ahead and start with the pound. We saw this move up to the 134. It could be perhaps also because we've had some good data, good news over the weekend. There is going to be a trade continuation between UK and Canada. So at least that is good news for the pound. Anyway, we got at 134, but I'm concerned. I'm concerned because I've had this labeled as wave one, right? And I was expecting this to be wave two. I don't like this false break above that resistance because it labels this as a non-impulse. Well, it could be a case where wave one is here, right? Because we can place wave one here and make that a multi-structure move anyway to the downside because it is a multi-structure move. But I'm not sure I like the fact that we crossed above that, right? So just be cautious on that end. But despite, I'm still expecting this to continue now lower, right? And of course deliver us wave three, but it's going to come in a multi-structure move to the downside, right? Because the distance over here is huge. Just to get to wave one is 126.70. We're probably done over here, right? But it could be also a case where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Now, if that was that case, obviously, we are most probably going to to consider this as a non-impulse to the downside, and alternatively, I would be looking at something like this, right? For this to be an A, B, and a C perhaps, right? And then have another move to the upside, and then continue all the way down for the pound. But whatever the case is in the short term, as you can see also here, this signal over here last week that we called last week, actually, we're expecting the 134 to be reached as well, 133.64 to be honest. We're expecting a decline from there. We start seeing that coming into play, right? Now on euro dollar, I like this move on the upside to be an X. Okay, as we said last week, I'm still expecting this to be the case here, but I do not like how this develops or developed on the upside. I will explain why. Because this looks like a correction, which means it's a wave B. So it's either that instead of B being here, we have an ABC have an A, B, C, and we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for a flat, right? So wave B would be here, and then we're going to get that wave for X, and then continue lower. Or it could be a case where this is an ABC for a W, this is an X, and this is a Y, right? So again, we're most likely going to see another move to the upside to take the way out, that will be X. So if it is W, X, and Y, then most probably we're going to see prices moving up in the short term to 119.25, above actually that level. If it is flat with an ABC formation over here, then most likely going to see prices decline down to 170.50 or so, then move up and then move down, right? And last, let's have a quick look also on dollar against the yen. Last week, we also called this as an ABC, yeah. So we talked about that. We're expecting another move to the downside. But to be honest, it looks like, okay, well, this for a wave B, it's fine, it's ABC. But this doesn't really make a good wave B for me. A good continuation for wave C, right? Because it looks very corrective. Since this looks very corrective, I'm likely to also consider this as an A, B, and a C, which means wave B would be here. And then we're going to see that move to the downside to finish, to end this cycle wave B, and then continue all the way up, right? As long as we trade well, it's very likely that we might see another upside since this is a huge impulse, right? We could see another move out to 104.86, and that could actually give us a good opportunity to continue to the downside, right? So as long as we trade below 104.86 or so, maybe 105.21 as well, then this can be considered as a downside move, okay, that will take us straight there from there. In case that it will break up and go over here, then most likely this is an A, B, and a C, okay? And then we're going to see prices move lower. Now, the signals on the MACD and also on the RSI are not really indicating much, okay? There is potentially going to be another move to the upside here that is going to cause some sort of hidden divergence on the downside over here, potentially, right? So I'll be looking at the signals that the RSI and the MACD gives in order to decide whether I'm going to be bullish in the short term or bearish, okay? So thank you very much for watching, and we will speak again tomorrow.